The one word I would use to describe Edwin would be inspirational. When one takes a moment to look at the obstacles that he has overcome, the things that he's done in his life to achieve his goals, and the success that he's had in his pursuits, it truly is a lesson to all of us of being able to stick to something that you believe in and follow through and be able to be successful at it.
Edwin has been an amazing Snead State parson. He has participated all around our campus in so many activities and in so many functions, serving in SGA, serving as a classroom leader, serving as a campus leader. And when he was in my classes, I never knew there were any struggles in his life because he persisted, he continued, and he was excellent in everything that he did.
When I met Edwin, he was shy and really lacked confidence. And after 2 years at Snead State, he has put himself into uncomfortable situations, and he is amazing. He is an overcomer, and he is Snead State. He is Jack Can't Cook. He is all the things that that scholarship program was looking for.
Growing up, my parents instilled the value of education and all the opportunities that come along with it. And I felt like education could be something that elevates me and can eventually lead me to helping people. My name is Edwin Romeo Jarquin Perez. I recently graduated from Snead State Community College with an associate's degree in mechanical engineering. So what led me to attend Snead State was the fact that I felt like I wasn't prepared to make that leap from high school to a 4-year, and I feel like I was ready to leave home, as I am a first-generation college student, and I felt like Snead was the proper choice. This spring, I was one of 60 people nationwide who was awarded the Jack Can't Cook transfer scholarship. This scholarship means a lot to me and my family, just because it lifts such a heavy financial burden off of us, where they don't have to struggle and they don't have to worry about paying for my education, and they can focus on taking care of my siblings. The Jack Can't Cook Foundation asked about what I overcame and my story. So, like many first-generation college students, my story begins far from home. I was raised in Mexico by my grandparents. It was a very humble lifestyle. We didn't have a lot of luxuries, but we had water, but it came from a well. So I just remember growing up, one time I mentioned it to my aunt and my uncles why their teeth were stained. But it was me not knowing as a kid, it was because they had drinking so much water from the well through their whole lifetime that it would stain their teeth because it had so many minerals, and it wasn't filtered properly. And then I also realized that we didn't have the best access to electricity. We had some access, but we didn't have the best. And then we lived in a 1-bedroom house, and then 1 bedroom, and it had a kitchen, but we're truly grateful for that. We didn't have the best life, but I would say we had an amazing life growing up. My parents, they lived a very hard life. Maybe it wasn't the happiest, but sometimes they didn't get to have a childhood because they had to work so early in their life. And I felt like my mother wanted to give us a childhood, so she just allowed us to have a childhood which she didn't have. And she just instilled the values of education and family and faith in us. And I feel like that's what drives myself and my siblings as well, just to show her that we're proud of her, and that we acknowledge her sacrifices, and that it was worth it. When I was old enough to attend kindergarten, I was brought to the U.S. and I attended kindergarten in Albertville, where it was a very drastic change from my quiet life in Mexico. I struggled to be confident. Not knowing the language, I struggled to communicate with my peers, and that ultimately led for me to be a very shy kid. And then I ended up finishing my high school education at Gunnersville, where I struggled to find confidence and struggled to find who I truly was. At first, we would cry a lot. Some of us would do it in public, like myself, but some of us would go and hide somewhere and just quietly cry because we miss our old life. We didn't understand why we were moved here, why we were just uprooted from our old life and just brought to a place where we didn't know the language, where we didn't understand why we had to come to school, why we had to struggle through this. So I wouldn't say it was easy. It made us introverted at first, and then when we got into high school, we kind of started to find ourselves. We weren't as confident. I wasn't as confident, and then coming to Sneed, it just helped me gain confidence and step into leadership roles. There was a moment here at Sneed that sparked for me to become a leader or wanting to be a leader, and it was at Trio, because it was where I connected with a bunch of people that had similar backgrounds or similar upraisings, and just sharing our story with each other. It made me realize that I wasn't the only one going through it, and that there was other people out there that had the same struggles, and that it is possible, and that you just got to keep fighting for your dreams.
Edwin has proven himself to be a real leader in our student body, and other students naturally gravitate toward him and his personality, the way he carries himself with the confidence that he's developed during the time he's been here. Edwin actually delivered the invocation for our commencement exercises bilingual, both English and Spanish, at our last commencement in May. Did a fantastic job with that, and just goes to be another example of the way that he has invested himself in our college and in our community and in the student body.
I'm very proud of Edwin. He was an excellent student and always very respectful, and had very good rapport with his other classmates, and performed well throughout the campus. So I'm very proud of him and his accomplishments.
Other students can learn from Edwin in the way that it is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to not always be dealt the best situation, that you can have grit and just keep moving forward. And seeing what all he's accomplished today is truly inspiring.
I chose mechanical engineering because back home, many people don't have the same opportunity or same resources to have clean drinking water or just a reliable source of energy. So growing up, an engineer visited our village, which he helped set up an electrical grid that allowed for more accessibility for electricity. Growing up, that's something I always thought about, and I'm eternally grateful for that engineer. And I feel like my degree in mechanical engineering in some way could help other people bring resources that they aren't as accessible to them. I feel like helping others is an essential part of life. It's not just about yourself, it's about bringing everybody up with you. And I feel like that engineer just helped so many people. If he did or didn't realize it, he helped me, which I can eventually help other people and inspire other people with similar stories.